Good morning, everyone. So today's session is a live Q&A session where you guys will use the chat box located on the right-hand side to go ahead and ask me any questions you want about the CRM system, the different things that it can do. Maybe you need clarification on something, or maybe it's something you are curious to see if the system can do and you're not sure. We can talk about lead follow-up, the website editor, anything training related. Is what today's session is for. If you want information about products and pricing, you will need to refer back to your sales rep. So go ahead and type in any questions that you have on the right-hand side. All right, guys, to really get the most out of today's session, you guys do need to ask questions. Thank you for saying good morning. However, I do need you guys to ask questions. Otherwise, today's session is going to be very, very short. Okay, Ivan, so you have a great question. His question is, what's a good email drip campaign to put the lead on if we don't know if they are a buyer or a seller? Generally, that would be decided upon how that lead came into the CRM system. So I am going to go in to my fake CRM system. Now, as a lead comes in, you will be able to see their lead type here. I'll also probably go on my website to show you how the different leads come in. Now, if the lead type here comes in as other, generally that means that that person was looking at listings and was asked to register. Again, if the lead type comes in as other, go ahead, go into that lead profile. One, you want to check the activity section to see if there is any activity. If it says that there is no activity, the next thing that you want to do is go into the note section and check the very first note that is there. It will let you know how that person registered. So in this case, it's letting me know that the user entered in their information in order to view this specific property. And at that point, I would kind of just do a Google search of that address and see what type of property came up, and then create a search based off of that. If it says that the person registered using the main registration form, and nothing else, then you really are going to have to just keep reaching out to that lead and trying to get a hold of them, because at that point, we don't really know. Another lead comes in by registering from looking at listings. Another lead will also come in if the lead comes onto your contact page and fills out the form here. So please make sure for those leads where you have no further information that you're really going to have to continue to call, email, and text them. Now, if the person, it says down here that the person registered using the main registration form, but you continue up and you see that they validated their account. 100% of the time, if they have to validate their account, it means that they were looking at listings. And then I would honestly just do a very quick blanket search for them using the buyer lead campaign. Other than that, if I don't know what they're doing, I really wouldn't put them on any campaign, because I don't have a clue as to what they're looking for on your website. Now, if they come in as other and I'm telling you to put them on the buying lead campaign and set them up on the search, even though we don't have a summary and we don't have a clue as to what listing they had clicked on, generally you're going to know which advertising or marketing method you're doing and what type of target buyer you're looking for. And then I would just create a blanket search off of that. Again, you're far better off having somebody on a search and getting not perfect listings instead of sending them nothing at all. Okay, so Susan is going into the website editors. We have a couple of questions. So one, how do I add in contact forms onto an individual page? Landing pages, how do I put them on an individual page? When you say a landing page, if you can clarify, I'm assuming you mean creating a landing page, which essentially would be something like that with a form. And discuss categories on a blog. Oh, the best way to post a landing page on Facebook is just by copying and pasting the link. So each of you have landing pages on your website. You can either find them most likely off your home screen, down your side menu here. You also have the ability in the actual menu. So for example, there's the Street Match, there's the Home Worth, you have new listing inbox. Whenever you're posting on Facebook, let me see if I can actually get onto Facebook at the same time. So when you're posting on Facebook, typically you're going to post on your Facebook business page. All you're going to do whenever you find that landing page, and it's the same process for any page, whether it's a landing page on your website or any of the blog pages on your website, all you want to do is highlight that URL at the top, right-click copy, go into your Facebook. From your Facebook business page, you're going to see where it says write something. Just click into there and right-click paste. It's automatically going to pull that landing page for you. And at this point, you're just going to remove that URL, the website address that you copied, and then just type in whatever you actually want to show up for your post. And it is the exact same process anytime you are linking any website onto Facebook. So you want to copy their link, paste it in, and then delete it and type in whatever your message is. Now, you do have the ability to create your own pages on your website that have contact forms. So if that is something you want to learn how to do, what you're going to do is while you're in the CRM system, you want to go to websites on the left. You want to click on whatever domain name it is that you have that you want to add this form to. Once you're there, you're going to click on this page that says use in website editor. Now, there are two different ways to create a form. Either you can choose a predetermined form page that we have, so we can create a new form page, like a new contact page, or I'm going to assume you guys aren't great with coding, but if you're good with coding, you can use coding to create another form. But I'm going to assume at this point for today's training purposes that you don't know coding, so HTML coding. Now, if you want to create a new form, so let's say I'm going to do a contest for my sellers, I can click onto my seller page because we have to tell the system where we want the page to go under. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, you're going to see two options, one that says page settings and one that says add new page. And at this point, you want to click on add new page. Once I click on add new page, it's going to ask me to select the page type. From here, you want to click on form. Then you're going to do page title. So I'm just going to title it Christmas contest. Under page name, now title, that is what text will show up in the internet browser tab, and the page name is what shows up in the menu. So these can be the same, they can be different. And then it's going to ask you what page are we putting it under. It is defaulted to sellers. Sellers is the only option since that's the page that we selected in order to add the page. When you're done, all you got to do is click on add page and edit. And it now will give you a page with a form. Now, Once you do that, you'll have the ability to turn the content editor on and go ahead and put your content here, and they can fill out the form here. That is honestly the easiest way to do it. That is not my preferred way. A reason why I don't like this way is for the simple fact if someone fills out this form, they're going to have a lead type of other, which means I don't really know where they've come from, which was one of the questions that we had previously. The best way to do it is using coding. Now, I will quickly show you guys how you can add the code in. Once I show it, if you guys realize that maybe, you know, Rhea, this is way too confusing for me, by all means, just send myself, send support, contact support and say, hey, I want to have a customized form on a page. Can you guys add it in? It really is just that simple. Now, if you want to do that yourself and you were going to add in the form yourself, what I'm going to do is go back to sellers. I'm going to add in another custom page. So I'm going to click on add new page. Now this time where it says please select the page type, you have a couple of options. I'm not sure. It's not showing you my options. I'm going to have to do it this way, guys, because it's not actually showing you the options that are popping up. So give me 1 sec so I can actually, I'm going to have to just print screen it and then show you the options that are there. Now, when you guys choose the options for the page type, there are different ones. There is other. The other page type is going to give you the ability to do whatever you want on the left-hand side, but it is going to have that normal right side column. If I'm doing a form plus my own stuff, my preferred method would be no columns. So I'm going to leave it on no columns. And that means there will be no columns. So the website itself is not going to be sectioned off. Website page is not going to be sectioned off. I'm just going to do Christmas contest 2. And then I'll do same thing, add page and edit. So because we've gone ahead and we've chosen the no column page, this is what the page will look like. The next thing that you guys will want to do is you're going to go back into the backend. So keep in mind, when I went to the website editor, I had to click on this button. When I clicked on using website editor, it opened up my website. If you guys have never attended my website editor part 1, this is going to be way, way over your head, and I apologize. Please make sure you guys attend tomorrow at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. But when we went back onto this page, you're going to see on the left-hand side in this gray box down below, guys, there's an option where it says website forms. It is going to explain how forms work. It's going to give you the different options. So one, you have a form when the form is filled out that you will get information that is emailed to you. However, the lead will not be in your CRM system, which to me is a waste of time. I want them in my CRM system. So if you want it to be fed into the CRM system, you're going to choose option number 2. All you're going to do is copy this information that's here. So I'm going to click on copy. I'm going to go back to that Christmas contest 2 page that I created. I'm going to turn on my content editor, which will bring up that dash box. In here, I'm going to click in, but instead of pasting what I copied directly into this box, I need to click on this option that says source, and then I'm going to right click and paste. Now, as I paste, guys, it is going to have specific things that you have the ability to change. So I'm going to kind of highlight this as I go through, and hopefully this will make some sense. I am probably also going to zoom in just a bit more so it's a little bit easier for everyone to see. Now, I don't expect you guys to know everything that this code is saying because, quite frankly, I don't know myself. But what I do care about is this first set of fields where it says input types. So first thing it's going to tell you is the input name is return message. So when somebody fills out the form, what do you want the screen to say? That's this area here where it says, thank you, we got your message. So if I'm doing a Christmas contest, for example, I would change this. So I'll delete this and I'm just going to say thank you for entering my Christmas contest. The winner will be announced on December 23rd. Now, I'll leave that as is. Sorry, guys, I was just coughing. The next thing is the email title. So when I received the alert for this email, or alert for this new contest entry, what do I want that email to say? So this is where it says this is the title of the email you want to receive. So I'm going to change this to New Christmas Contest. So as soon as you get the alert, you'll know whether it's an actual buyer lead or a contest lead. Then it's going to ask you for the campaign. The campaign, guys, is also what on the CRM system is referred to as the source. So this is what it will show up over here as. So I'm going to quickly change that to Christmas contest. Now, if this is a contest or a form, you know, you're going to be using multiple times. Maybe I did a Christmas one last year. I'm doing a Christmas one this year. It is a good idea to put in a year, a date, so you're not, eventually when you're mass emailing and you're searching for these people, you're not confusing them with who's who. Now, lead type. This is the type of lead that comes in. Again, lead type will show up here. I could, in this case, leave it as other because the source is something, but I'm going to change this lead type to contest entry. And then when I'm done, all I've got to do is click on OK. You'll now see that the form will show up. It automatically asks them for their first name, last name. You can jazz this up by putting background information, a little spiel on top of the form. Really, it's up to you. And then again, just like anything you do with the content editor, you need to click outside of that dash box to save your changes and then turn the content editor off. Now, I'm sure that was a lot that I just went over, so seems pretty easy when I'm doing it. Maybe when I went in and actually changed the information on the coding is where I've confused you. If you're not 100% comfortable with what I've gone over, please just shoot support a message. Shoot me a message. Said, hey, I attended your Q&A session. I want to have this form on my website. Can you do it? And then I will help you out. Either I will do it myself. If it's a little bit over my HTML knowledge, then I can definitely send it over to our support department. The other question was discussing blog categories and how do I remove one if is posted in error. So again, any changes that you have to do on the website, you have to make sure that your website editor is on. Everybody has a blog page on their site. Generally, when you click on blog, there will be no drop-down menu. If there is a drop-down menu, it means that you created blog category. So how do we create a blog category? We go to blog. Once I click on blog, you're going to see in the lower left-hand corner, there is a blog page settings, add new category, and add new blog post. So to create a new blog category, you're going to click on add new category, type in the title of the category, and then the name is what will show up in the drop-down menu, and then click on add page and edit. Now, one thing to let you guys know, if I started blogging, let's say a year ago, and I'm now adding in categories, you do not have the ability to move a previous post into a category. So if you think you would want it categorized in the future, please make sure you just create the categories now and add the blog posts in as you can. Let's say you've created a category and you no longer want it there. So for example, I have this July 28th category. I can actually click onto the category name on the right. I could click on the category name from the menu. Then you're going to see where it says blog page settings. I would click onto that and I would click on delete this. Now it's letting you know this blog has one blog post and I must delete that before I delete the category. So it's actually going to try to protect you from not removing information first. So I have one blog post in here first. So I'll have to go into that blog. The way that I'll go into the blog is by clicking on Happy Long Weekend. That will bring me into the post that's in that category. I can now go into blog post settings. I can click on delete this post. The system's going to ask me to confirm. I will click on OK. It's let me know that it's been deleted and it'll redirect me back to the home page. Now I can go back to blog. I can go back to that category, which is July 28th. And you'll notice that there is no blog postings under this category anymore because it says real estate blog coming soon. I can go to blog page settings. I can now click on delete on the right. And now I can now delete that category, and that category will no longer exist. Now, if you had a blog post in a category and you did not want to delete the blog post, honestly, you will have to recreate that blog post under the category that you want, then delete it, and then delete that category. I hope that made sense for you. Okay, so the question is, I'll be a bit more specific. I have a landing page where people can request a market update for their specific area. When the lead comes in, I am not sure if they are a buyer or a seller. If I try to contact them and can't get a hold of them, which campaign should I put them on? Got it. If it is a market update, you know the area. I'm assuming it's the same area. I would literally just set them up on I wouldn't set them up on the buyer campaign so that they're getting listings per se. But what you can do is you can go to eCampaigns. You can, if you have automated prospect match as an option, I would choose that. So you can do automated prospect match, click on assign. It'll ask you to confirm, say yes. Automated prospect match is just listings. So I would just send them listings in that specific area. Now I'm also going to assume that you're targeting the same area over and over again. So therefore you should be getting leads in the same area. And at that point, instead of recreating the search, so I'm going to go in and I'm going to click on the V2 to create that search for that person so they get market updates. And in my case, a market update would be something like listings that are coming up in that area. Now, if you find that you guys have targeted one area, maybe it's a postal code, maybe you're doing a geographical farming area. Instead of recreating the search over and over and over again, what you should be doing is creating a search template within the system. Now, for example, let's say I go into Map Radius Polygon. Let's say whoever it is located near the agent locator office, which is the L4W. It's the L4W area code. So I'm going to choose Mississauga L4W. It's going to zero in on an area, which is great. I'm just going to zoom out of that area a little bit. And then all I'm going to do is click on radius and I'm going to click on a search. You can maneuver that radius around. And then I'm just going to click on add. If it's a market update, I probably will also go in for sale or for rent. Choose sale because I don't want rentals to show up because that's not really going to be conducive to a market update. I'm just going to wait for the filter to appear. So we're now down to 893 properties. Now, if you have created the search, and this is going to be the search that you are going to do for this specific group of people, instead of having to recreate this radius every time, all you're going to do is click on this button here that says save this search. When I click on save, notice down below it's going to ask me to enter in the name of the search. So I'm going to say L4W area code. It's going to ask me who can see the save search. Everyone in my company means any users under your account. It doesn't mean everybody in Agent Locator. If you are on a team, then obviously everyone in my company will make sense. Only me will means that only you can see this search. So I'll say only me in this case, and I'm going to click on save. Now it says that the save search has been saved. That does not mean that this lead is getting emails. It just means that I have created a template search. Now, how would you load that search is most likely going to be your next question. Well, I'm just going to remove those filters. Whenever you need to load the search that you previously saved, all you're going to do is on the right-hand side, instead of going into this filter option, you're going to go up here where it says click here to load save search. It's going to give you a list of all of the searches templates that you've previously created. I'm going to click on the L4W area code. I'll click on load this search. It'll ask me to confirm, so I'm going to say yes. And then it automatically comes up with those filters. And then you would either choose save and email listings or save and email only new. These are the two buttons that actually save the search for that lead and send out listings. This will not, the save the search will not send out listings. I hope that made sense. Now, Ivan, if they're looking for a market update, the other option for you, again, if it is the same type of area, is maybe creating an email template specifically for a market update. That is the only other option I would suggest, and then just sending them that specific email template. I hope that made sense. Now, there's a ton of things that the system can do. Since I just showed you guys how to do that type of a saved load search template, and I hope everybody's using the new CRM system. If you guys are using the older CRM system, let me just log into it so you guys can see. This is the old CRM system. So if you guys are using this, please, please, please switch over to this system. You'll find that it is far more user-friendly. I'll put the link of the new system in the chat box. If you are still using the older system, I do highly recommend you reaching out to me so you can be trained on the new system.
More details, you'll see the property.
Now, does anybody else have any other questions in regards to the CRM system, maybe lead follow-up, the website editor? I know it kind of goes all over the place in today's session, but I want to make sure you guys are getting your actual questions answered instead of having to wait around for a webinar. While I'm waiting, I am going to go over while I'm waiting to see if you guys have any other additional questions. I know definitely in the CRM basic, I don't go, and I'm going to focus a lot on the CRM system, guys. And quite frankly, it's because to me, the CRM system is the most important thing of the whole package or system that you have with us. This is where your money essentially is going to come from, because you can have an amazing website and have no leads in the system. You can have an amazing website and ton of leads coming in the system, and you really not doing anything with them is not going to make you the money. So I do like to focus on the CRM system quite a bit. I do want to show you some of the additional things that quite frankly, I don't go over at all. Now, you're going to notice on the left-hand side, there are these two squares. This is your partial lead list. Now, definitely, if you have not attended any webinars, when a lead comes in, does it automatically assign a campaign, or do we have to set it up? Majority of the time, nor you're going to have to manually set them up. Your question actually leads right into this question, this partial lead list. So I might as well just go over it. When Nora's asking, do the leads get automatically assigned to campaigns? The answer is, quite frankly, it depends on how they have registered. If a lead comes in as other, no, the lead is not automatically going to be assigned to a campaign. Can it be done? Yes. But by default, the way that the system is built out, the answer is no. If the lead comes in from your buyer landing page, so the listings in your inbox, the answer is yes. If a lead comes on from this page, they type in their criteria, they give their contact information, the lead will come into the system with a lead type of home buyer, and they will automatically be put onto the buyer campaign. If a lead comes in from the nosy neighbor page, or AKA Street Match, they will be given a lead type of Street Match, and they will automatically be set up to receive listings in the area that are around the home that they have entered in.
And then bottom right hand corner. It's based on the right.
If a lead comes in from your Homeworth pages, so whether that's your actual seller page on your website, which is the quick home market evaluation page, or whether it's one of the Homeworth landing pages, the answer is no, they will not get anything. The lead will come in, will have a lead type of home seller, and the system will not send them anything. Why don't we send them anything for Homeworth? Quite frankly, we don't believe in giving out online lead market evaluations. We believe that you guys should either see the property, talk to that person before anything.
Sorry? No, you fill it out. If you give them too much to fill out, they'll just pay it. That's the problem. Buyer and seller info is a place to put all the details as to what you're looking to buy, what you're looking to sell. It doesn't create a search or anything like that. It's just
Now, if somebody goes ahead and fills out the Homeworth page or a Street Match page, and all they do is enter in their address and they don't give us their contact information, that is what we will determine is a partial lead. Now, a partial lead will show up on this section here. That is the partial lead section. The partial leads, all it will do, guys, it is, again, partial lead. I cannot stress that enough. It will tell you the address that the lead entered in. It will tell you what type of page they came from, so whether it was Street Match or Homeworth, and it'll provide you the date that they did it with, the date that they entered in the address for. When they enter in the address, that is all we have. I don't have a name. I don't have an email address. I don't have a phone number. So it's up to you guys if you guys are going to prospect these addresses by door knocking, by cold calling, or sending direct mail marketing. Nor you're on the lead gen website. So yes, your leads are automatically set up to receive listings. So if you guys are on the lead gen website, not a templated site, the lead gen website, which is essentially just a landing page or a squeeze page for buyers, then your leads are automatically set up and you don't need to do anything but call those leads.
Now, emails, a quick little tip from the
Now, for everybody who is when you have a lead gen website, what happens is there are 3 actions that take place. 1, they receive a text message right away. 2, they're set up to receive listings right away. And the 3rd action is a text message will go out a couple days later. When that happens, the campaign itself never technically ends. They're just automatically will not receive any more text messages automatically, but the listings will continue. The listings will not stop for those of you who are on the lead gen website. Now, for all of you guys, I'm not sure what everybody's doing to get traffic to their websites in order to get leads. Keep in mind, if you have 0 leads in the system or only a few, basically that means to me that you're not doing anything or you're not doing enough to drive traffic to your website. Very, very important. Yes, it's nice to have a nice looking website, but we don't want it to be a secret website. We need people to know about your website. Quite frankly, guys, having your website address or your domain name on your business cards, having it on your Facebook, your social media profiles is not enough. You really, really, really have to push and market to get people to come to your websites. When you have leads coming in, I cannot stress enough how diligent and aggressive and consistent you need to be to follow up with these leads. Online leads are the absolute hardest to convert. Online leads have a success rate of 1 to 2% in the first 12 months. So that means if in a 12-month period, let's say January to December, you have 100 leads in the system, you should have been able to close 1 or 2 of them. Now, in 12 months to 24 months, if you're consistently driving traffic to your website, that percentage goes up and it should be 3 to 4. Why? Because you're converting some from year 1 who hadn't gone yet, and then you're converting some from year 2. If you are amazing at following up with online leads, which means everybody is being touched or reached out to every couple of months, that you're being aggressive, you're constantly calling leads, you're texting them, then you will do far, far better than just the 1 to 2%. And if you guys are calling leads, you have over, let's say 300 leads and you're still not converting and you're calling them, my thought process is what's going on in the conversations is what is going wrong. Generally, that means you need a little bit more sales training, and definitely objective handling is the best thing. And for those of you who are in that boat, my recommendation is role play, role play, role play. Find role play partners within your own brokerage. If you don't have a role play partner, you can come to, let me see if they'll still let me in. The Agent Locator group has a role play. We do have a role play group that's closed just for Agent Locator clients. You can see here there's about 56 members here. Click on any one of them and invite them to role play. You'll find that quite a few people are interested. I believe that all agents should be role playing at least 30 minutes every single day. I don't care if you've been in the business for a year or 10 years, there's absolutely nothing that you'll ever be able to learn to the point where you can't learn anymore. The industry itself is changing all the time, and the way that you would deal with an online lead is very different than how you would deal with an open house lead or a referral lead. So role playing is amazing, and I recommend you guys initiating contact with some of our other clients or find somebody else outside. If those of you who love watching videos and you learn off of that, please go into Beverly Balance BC. She constantly does live calls from CRM systems. Now, she doesn't do her own CRM system. She has clients and she calls for them. So if you're looking for an ISA, she's also a great option. But she does calls, and you can actually listen to all of her live calls. The way that she deals with objections and she handles the calls is absolutely amazing. So that's Beverly Balance BC.
Yeah, it'll stop the emails and it'll just keep sending those things and tell it to stop. Right? That's what you want from people you're speaking to. Just send those things and keep sending those ones every day.
Now, very important, guys, for me, that you're in the CRM system, that you're using it daily. If you are unclear on how to really function within it, maybe you've already done our basic training and you need some more help, please reach out to me. My email address is rhea@agentlocator.ca. Reach out to me and I can help clarify some things. If you've been using it and you're not getting the best result, again, please reach out to me and I'll see what I can do. I'll go into your system and I'll definitely give you some different tricks and things that I think that you should start doing in order to get to the success that you need to when using our system. If you guys have any other questions, let me know while we're already here, because I don't see any questions. I'm going to go over a couple other things to me that I think is important for you guys to know that I generally don't go over in the CRM system. If you are utilizing the CRM system effectively, there is a way to make it a little bit more effective, and that's using the apply save filter. This really just means apply saved search. If you click down into it, you're going to have the global filters. These are filters that the system has automatically created and it's available for everyone to use. There are personal filters that you also have the ability to go ahead and add in. Now, the first priority filter is any new leads that have come in that have never been contacted. The next thing is your make contact calls. So if I have been able to get a hold of that lead some way or some form, I make sure I want to go ahead and call those leads in. And the third priority is anybody that you have a task created for. If a task has been created for a lead, we definitely want to go ahead and give them a call. How do we know a task is created? You'll see the task column over here. And if there is a number 1 beside the red flag, it means that a task is pending. Now, if you have created your own special searches that you want to use, so maybe you've done tagging in the system, you have the ability to add your own filters in here. So once this refreshes, I will definitely show you how to do that.
It's an American-based company, so the prices are in US, but it's okay. Basically, you're buying your post number.
Yes, I will definitely go over the campaign again. I'm assuming the buyer campaign. So first, let me show you how to create a saved filter. Create your search however you want, guys. You can use as many of these filters in the system as you want. So let's say I want to go into the pipeline. I want to find everybody that I've made contact with. And I also want to maybe, let's say, add in some kind of a tag. So let's say I want to find my 2017, and 2018 buyers, and I'll click on Apply Filter. So these are all, I have 13 leads that I've marked off that are buying by this year or next year, who I've already spoken to. So if I want to make sure that I keep following up with these leads, and I don't want to have to recreate this search each time, what I'm going to do is, you'll see I've created the search. You're going to click on Apply Filter. That's going to pull those specific leads. Then up here where it says Filter Name, this is where you're going to mean filter name is saved search. So I'm just going to say 2017, 2018 buyers who I've spoken to. Then I'm going to choose to save it as a personal or a company. Again, I can save it as a personal, which means only I can see this saved search template, or I can do create company, which is going to show anybody in my user accounts. So anybody on my team will have the ability to utilize this search. In this case, I want to do create personal. You'll see it lets me know it's been saved. And now in the drop-down list, my 2017, 2018 buyers who I've spoken to filter is there for me to utilize whenever I want. If I want to go back to my full list of leads, all I got to do is click on Clear All. So somebody's asking, how does follow-up work? Let's say we have someone who wants to buy or sell in 3 months. How do we repopulate or see them again? So to me, guys, I'm very, very specific in my follow-up. Those of you who have done one-on-one training with me probably are aware that I used to actually be a realtor assistant, and I was in charge of the database. So for me, the way that I follow up with leads is very, very specific. If I spoke to somebody and they say, hey, I'm buying or selling in 3 months, you're a hot lead. Because I know I need to follow up, or you can call them warm. I know if you're buying or selling in 3 months, that would really depend to me. Things need to get done right now. We need to get you in front of a lender. We need to find out about your credit score before I'm even moving forward. If you are a seller who's selling in 3 months, I need to look at your house and we need to figure out what renovations, what updates, things of that nature need to get done on the home. So to me, that's why I'll consider you a hot lead. And how do I show the system that you're a hot lead? I'm going to tag you. So for example, I can say 2017 or 2018. I'll mark you for what year you need to go. I also like to mark it off as a hot lead. The other thing I like to do, because I don't like to say that the person is going in the next 3 months. That means you'll see that the timeline option is here, but that means that I'm constantly going to have to change that timeline option. So the other thing I like to do is add in these additional tags, and I'm going to say fall, winter. So if I mark that person off as a 2017 fall or winter lead, then I know that they're going relatively soon. So I can mark this person off with a few different things, and I'm going to click on done. The other thing that I'm going to do is, if I've spoken to you, and I'm assuming if I know what your timeline is that I've spoken to you, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go into that lead. I'm going to make sure that I have a follow-up task created for them. So to me, anytime that I've spoken to somebody, I have to have a task created for them. And I'll go to task, create the follow-up task, and select the due date. If the person says it's 3 months from now, I'm probably going to call them in about 15 days. So little 2 to 3 weeks. And then as the time gets closer and closer to when it's supposed to be, they're going to go from every 2 to 3 weeks to every week. And then when they're super hot, then I'm going to be following up with them every couple of days. When you have your tasks, you can also see the tasks that you have due by going onto the flag on the left and clicking on tasks. And you'll see any task that you have overdue. Start with, it automatically will show you today and overdue. You can go into today and mark those tasks off. Definitely today and overdue is the default because nothing should be overdue because you should have done everything yesterday, but things like that happen. And then what you can say is, I want to sort them, and I would obviously sort it by the priority, which means anyone who's high or urgent priority will go first, and then anybody who's normal will follow down below, and anything that's not really a priority will be the last on my list. And you want to keep just doing these tasks until you've completed them all. Again, in order to do the tasking and to follow up with your leads effectively, you have to make sure that you're in this system every single day. So we can search by tags. We can search according to the timeline. You can search according to the task. So there's multiple ways, but if you tag and you task, there's absolutely no reason why any of your leads are going to fall through the crack. Now, I am going to quickly go over how to add somebody onto the campaign again. I'm going to see, I don't think that there are any leads in the system that aren't on a campaign. Oh, let's see this person. So I can click onto that lead's name. Oh, maybe they are. You'll click onto buying lead campaign. You're going to click on assign. We're going to say yes because we want to assign to that lead. Now notice it's going to say error because I've already assigned that lead to that person, that campaign to that person. So hopefully I can find somebody. Here's someone. So again, buyer lead campaign. I click on assign, click on yes. Next, and this is essentially going to be the same process you would do if you did automated prospect match. So we can do automated prospect match, assign, click on yes. What's the difference between these two? Automated prospect match is just listings. Buying lead campaign is listings and follow-up content emails. Then you'll do the same thing. In this case, I'll do buying lead campaign. Once I click on buying lead campaign, down below, it's going to show me the action items of that campaign. Right away, guys, you need to do that search within the first 5 minutes. So I'm going to click on V2. Once I click on V2, it's going to open up the different filters that I can use on the right-hand side in order to create the search. At a minimum, guys, make sure we're always using the city filter and always using the list price filters. So city to select the location, the list price in order to create a range, to create a budget for that lead. Every other filter that's here, that's available for you to use, is optional. Again, depending on what board we're pulling from, you may not see as many filters as I have, or you may see more than this. So please go in. One thing I'm going to say is if you haven't spoken to the lead, please make sure that your search is pretty broad as opposed to too targeted. The purpose is we want to make sure that the search is wide enough that that lead is consistently getting listings from us. We want to make sure that we're consistently reaching out to them via email, getting them the listings that they need to see. That way you have a better chance of staying top of mind. I have seen many agents who do a very, very targeted search and there's like 2 listings found, and then that lead is not getting listings for a month. That lead's never going to remember you. So you want to have a broader search. It may not be a perfect search, but I would then, if I talked to that lead and that lead said, hey, I'm looking for this and this and this, I would say, okay, I'm going to set you up. I'm going to make the price range a little bit broader so you can kind of see everything that's slightly below your budget or slightly more to see if there's any wiggle room. You might be able to prefer something that's cheaper, or you may need to up your budget. And they will definitely appreciate and see the benefit of having something done in that nature as opposed to them not getting listings for weeks, because then it really just seems like you've forgotten about them, and I can guarantee that is not the way that you want them to think of you. We don't want them to think that we've forgotten about them. So broader is always better. All right, guys. We have a couple more minutes, so if anyone else has any other questions, do let me know. Again, I cannot stress enough, please be in the system every single day, especially if you are getting leads into the system. If you've been with us for a very long time and you have leads in the system that are maybe a year old, 2 years old, please reach out to them anyways. Maybe they've bought, maybe they haven't. If they've bought, wonderful, we can now delete them from the system, and I don't have to spend any more time on them. If they haven't bought yet, then wonderful, I still have an opportunity to be the agent of their choice. Never give up on any lead. If the lead doesn't have a valid phone number, but it has a valid email address, just keep emailing that lead. Eventually that lead will trust you enough and will provide you with their contact information, or they'll reach out to you. I'm going to tell you from personal experience, I am that lead. You are never going to get me on the phone. I will give you an old number so you can actually get a hold of me, but I would check what you're sending me. And when I feel comfortable and I feel ready to move, then I will move forward and I will contact you myself. It doesn't mean that the lead is any less qualified. It just means that they are in the research phase. So give them the opportunity to research, to figure out what the market is doing. And again, give them the opportunity to choose you, because if you kind of just let them go, then you'll never get that lead anyways. Yes, Tony, excellent question. How do you mass email and put an attachment to it? So first step in the mass email, I'm assuming you already have the email template created. So the first step is choosing the leads that you want to receive the listing or whatever the mass email is. So let's say I'm going to choose from my filters here, and I want these 13 people to receive the mass email. So first you would create the search to figure out who you're sending this email to. Again, I apologize for the slowness. It is my internet connection. Perfect. Next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and check off the leads. Notice I have 13 leads, but again, the system only shows 10 leads per page. So I will need to click on this button here that says select all, and I can now see that all of the leads have been selected. Next step in the mass email process is we're going to go to apply actions at the top. We're going to click on send mass email. In my head, you already have the email template created, and you would just click here where it says select email template and choose the appropriate one. If you don't have one created, not to worry. Type in the email subject, put in the body of your email. Down below, you're going to see an option where it says attach. You can attach files here. I believe the maximum size is 2 megabytes, but it can be JPEGs, PNGs, PDFs, doc files, so you can send all of that. Feel free to send yourself a test email, and then you can click on send. They will get the email along with the attachments. So that's really a good idea for those of you who do pre-construction. Maybe you have a new listing and you want to send out a new listing email and have the feature sheet also attached. That's an amazing way to reach out to your database. All right, guys, what I'm going to do is I am going to shut my mic off. I will keep the chat box open. So should anyone have any other questions, I will jump back in. That is not a problem. If not, I just want to say thank you guys for attending. I hope I really got to answer your questions. Today's session was recorded, and you will receive a copy of the recording in about an hour. So probably around 1 o'clock, expect it. When I send an email from the CRM system that then sends through my Gmail account when the lead receives it, that is correct. If you have integrated your CRM system with your Gmail or your Google account, I believe this one is. If I go to emails here, I click on compose. You do have the ability to choose which email address you are going to send it from. So you can choose the CRM email, which usually is your first name, last name, .agent locator. Or if you choose to send it from your Google or your Gmail account, you can do so as well. If you choose to send it from your Google or Gmail account, the lead will see it directly from that email address. If you have, I will double check with your mail route, Ivan, and I will get support to fix that for you. Let me quickly see if I can get into your account while we are on. So I'm moving in another screen, even though you're not going to see my screen moving. Ivan, did you want it being sent from your KW account, or they should be going out from your first name, last name at crm.agentlocator.ca? So let me go in. I will get support to have a look at it, and I'll definitely get that fixed for you. It will be done for you very quickly. All right, guys, thanks again. And anytime you guys have questions for me, my email address is rhea@agentlocator.ca.